So let's talk a little bit about the name, because I think the name is going to be, I mean, you discussed it with the first question around not necessarily wanting to shy away from the honesty of the liberal values of which you firmly believe in, and just because the LNP here in Australia have hijacked that term, that you're not going to shy away from that. And it was a really interesting response, because when I first heard your names, that was as I think a lot of people would immediately, pull away, but that's a noble thought. Have you had any issues with registering that name in terms of how close it is to the Liberal Party?
We will have. We've only just put in our papers for registration, because you have to have 500 members, and we've only been around. We only signed our constitution late October last year.
Right.
So we put in for registration, and that registration has been frozen by the calling of the Eden-Monaro by-election.
Right.
But the Liberal Party is already, Liberal Party of Australia has already sent us a cease and desist letter. So we know they're going to sue us. Once we get registered, then they will sue us. Now, the law is very clear on this. 3 federal court judges have said, in relation to the Liberals of the Forest case and the Liberal Democrats, that the Liberal Party of Australia has no monopoly on the word liberal. It's a general political term that's used around the world. And it's not going to create any confusion in the minds of the voters. So the law is very much on our side, but I had a tip-off from inside our future opponents telling me that they were going to sue, and I said, yes, I know they will, but they'll lose. And he said, well, yes, they know they'll lose, but they're hoping to bankrupt you in the process. So we're on for a good fight, and I think they won't bankrupt us, because I think they've missed the point. It's very technical, and I won't go into those details, but the bottom line is that there are very good barristers who are willing to run this case for us. And if for some reason they can't, then I'm a barrister, albeit I wouldn't claim to be a very good one, but I'll run it, and we do have the law on our side. So I think we will win it, and we'll probably garner a lot of publicity in the process. So I think the Liberal Party of Australia is unwise to challenge us. And I think that's the decision they made they challenged Liberals of the Forest, and that went to court. They ended up withdrawing their challenge to Liberal Democrats, because I think they knew they'd lose. Whether they do with us, or whether their pride will get in the way and they'll push on with it in an attempt to bankrupt us and cause us a lot of hassles, I don't know. But that's all good fun coming up.
Absolutely. And just one bit more on that name, I imagine that you are going to struggle more in the red seats, and the seats quite very much held by Labor. So what, if there's a former Labor supporter or an existing Labor supporter watching now, what would you say to them to help them get around the name?
Well, I talk on Twitter and other places to a dozen different people in this category every day.
Right.
And I say to them what I said to you before about why we chose the name and what the word liberal really means and how it's been perverted in this country. And I say to them, look, the bottom line is, whatever you think about our name, are you going to let that worry you, or are you going to go to our website, read our policies and make a decision based on that? And 95% of them say, well, I'll go to the website, and they come back pleasantly surprised and say, well, yeah, sure, I'm not going to worry about the name. I'll decide whether I vote for you or not on the basis of those policies. And what I'm finding is that those people, as I said to you before, I think that they actually come back with more respect for us, that we were willing to take the hard road and become stronger supporters. We're getting supporters from all sides. That initial showing round of the Charter of Core Values, that's been mirrored in the membership base. We've got members from, as I say, Nats, Libs, Christian Democrats, Greens, Labor, everybody, So, but but there's a lot of people to get round to. So as you say, quite rightly, our candidates in the Labor seats, and we're starting our campaigning on a low level now, we have to because we're new and we need to get our name out. They're finding it harder than in the blue seats.